Here's some company highlights that through the teaming and the partnership that we developed through all the years that we are in the market. We are expanding every day the customer relationship with our partners, customers, and companies, as we can see here in the industry that we are moving every year toward better and higher goals. Pinnacle has very simple values and very firm values, which is we commit to our mission, and that means that we commit to our goals, which is serving the customer in the proper way. Innovation, that Pinnacle, our top management, they encourage all the time our employees to come, speak up, tell us your innovation, what do you like to have, what do you like to see, what it is your ideas. And I'm one of them. I put 3-4 ideas, and it has been taken in consideration, and it becomes later on a program. Deliver. We give ourselves. Sometimes all the companies, they say, okay, we'll take our sweet time, but we try all the time to deliver ahead of the schedule. Sorry that I'm not keeping up with that. So here is our presence in the world, either through us directly, either through our customers. The only continent that we are not penetrating is the South America. Pinnacle employees, the size of the company is, we are 525 personnel, and we have several subcontractors. We have 5 of them, each one has almost, give and take, each subcontractor, 175 employees. And the graphic here is showing the education level of the non-representative workforce. So the education that we have and the disciplines that we support is flight and simulators instructors, aircraft simulator maintenance, program management and control, system engineering, software engineering, mechanical and electric engineering, artist animators and game developers, air traffic control, airfield management, information assurance, configuration management, and technical writing. Next. Our core capabilities, we divide them in 2 parts. They are engineering and services. Each department, there is few items or few activities that we put there, which is like training, content development, simulation program, information assurance, value-added reseller programs that they fall under the engineering, and we have the services that we do training, flight operation, contractor logistics support, aircraft modification and upgrading, technical publication and item development. The Pinnacle family of virtual training products, which they are the VXT core, that's the principal, the Pinnacle development, which provide core, this is the core of the VMT, the virtual maintenance training. The X stands for anything. It can be any platform, any vehicle, even IKEA furniture. Like somebody say it. Platform models, extremely high fidelity models, which they are created in a variety of data sources to include original equipment manufacturer provided. And unlike some other similar product, the Pinnacle platform models provide complete simulation of the weapon system, subsystems to maximize the student engagement and learning. We give in addition to this lessons and use cases and user interface. So here is the main product that we are talking today is the VMT. Here we're putting in evidence the need of, through the aviation equipment and systems has experienced significant technological upgrade in the recent years, but we have the maintenance personnel, they stayed or they remained virtually unchanged for decades. So there is other method that till now is being used for the virtual for the maintenance, which is schematic, classroom instruction, component or the cutaways, and all on aircraft training. We have the U.S. Army Aviation Logistics Center in Fort Usa, Virginia, conduct the helicopter maintenance training for the Army, and every year we have 6,000 students that they provide for them training for general aircraft maintenance and systems. We can see here the 15B, the aircraft power plant, power terrain, electrician, etc. So the downside of this experience of the training system, first of all, if you have a cutaway, it's expensive to procure it. Or if you have a model, helicopter, fixed wing, whatever, it's a significant, important money that you need to put in order to buy that model. Require maintenance because most of the time they are just like after some time they need that maintenance to keep it up, even if we put it in a showroom. Out of date because it can be antique models and the technology went ahead and you need to keep all the time with these, you change the models, etc. Not scalable, and you need an instructor that sit there, take the students, go around. And the travel required. You might have the students that they have to come all the way from God knows where to come and see what's going on here. So the solution that we are offering, which is the VMT, that solves almost all the issues that we listed before. Because it's, first of all, it's a very high fidelity. This is the engine, the T700 of the Black Hawk. So this is not a picture. This is what we give as a high fidelity, and you can see the kind of image that we are giving here. That will, and this kind of development, as we can see, I don't think that with a cutaway that he can see what it is inside the engine. And later on in the demo, I'm going to show that the engine is moving along with all the parts of it. That is almost impossible to see it for a student. Here we go. This is a simple example of the VMT. We see here that we have, this is the picture of the real engine. That is the VMT in 3D, and that is the trainer. These are the three images that make the difference, looking at it. And the VMT is not a traditional computer program, which is not a traditional interactive multimedia instruction, the IMI. It provides a virtual model of the aircraft and applies actual aircraft in form and function. So, I'm going to ask somebody, what it is for you this? Is this a picture? This is what it is, our VMT. It's a really high fidelity. This shows exactly what it is. When you look at this one and you go to the helicopter or to that piece, you will see the same image. You're not going to see something different. So we care a lot about the fidelity of the images that the students they are going to, or the maintainers they are going to see. We have other functions that this system, it will get the student to get familiarization with what it is, and identification, isolation of any parts that you are going to look at. The VMT can be instructor-led or self-paced. I mean, you can go home and you study, you look on this. In addition to this, you can right here do an X-ray for the parts that you are interested in. If you are looking at the engine, and you don't need to see the whole frame of the helicopter, you just you click, all that goes in X-ray, and if you want to extract it, it can go by itself. The 3 levels of training that we are offering. The basic, which is task, provide you if you are just fresh off the high school, it provides step by step on going on through what it is the maintenance task that you need to do. The second one, which is the intermediate, that allows the students to perform while he's referencing to appropriate maintenance manual. The advanced one, the task challenge that the student, the instructor, he can insert while they are looking on what's going on. He can insert to them a troubleshooting or any problem that they supposed to solve. The VMT we developed on variety of platforms. This is an example of what we have. It's on the MD530, the Chinook, C47, we will see the UH-60, the Blackhawk, and we developed the Cessna Citation, the 208 as our first fixed wing. In the pipeline, I'm not allowed to say what it is, but we have many platforms that they are coming, and it will be between commercial and military. VMT solution is real cost effective for any customer because it can be, this is a station where we see that there is an instructor, that he is controlling every software that we get. There is 8 stations and one for the instructor. So the instructor, he can look while they are looking at it. The instructor, he can see whatever they are doing, even if they are home, because he can see the progress of them. And then we have a student station that instructor, you can add as much as you can of students, and you can graduate them because he can give them virtually the task, and they solve that task. And every time, we'll see, every time that they solve the task, they get a number, check, and 2 or 5 or whatever it is. So, what it is the advantages of having the VMT? First of all, it's a cost effective. You don't have to take these gigantic cutaways and put them in. It's need real estate, and it's need a place to maintain it, and etc. That's the first thing. There is no maintenance needed because you get updates on the VMT. You don't have to go and clean the cutaway or change it or maybe because it's obsolete and you need something newer. Include updates. You will get the VMT and you will get all your, every time that you hook up with, that's with the license, you get all your updates, and it is scalable. Mean that no physically, there is no limit physically. You can just you put it on iPad and you go around and you have it. No instructor required. I mean, this is to clarify. There is no need on instructor physically. He needs to be there with the students that he looks on what they are doing. But the instructor is always there because he will look on their progress. And there is no travel. I mean, you don't have to go to somewhere to learn about how to do maintenance or to go to a school. You can have it in your house and you can go back and forth. So the VMT requirement is commercial, is not something that you have to go out of your way to go and find out where you buy it. Normal PC, tablet, minimum of hardware, which is 16 gigabyte of RAM, 8 gigabyte of hard disk, and 64 chipset, and Windows 10 OS, and it can work with iOS or Android. and modern iOS and networked the LAN for a classroom or any network, which is, you can common network, you can get that training. The people, the subject matter expert, obviously the instructor, otherwise we will go nowhere. And the data, the technical manuals, access to the platform and gathering systems. GFE customer options to provide all, or either we provide it for them. Now, this is part of the BNT that we can look on anything. We can, just like we want only one part, we want the hardware, we want just like the control, the flight controller, we can just like do the VNT only for that. And here is an example that we have in front of you. And it can be used as well for the introduction and theory inspections, DTTS, maintenance repetition, and obviously this, everything that we are doing here is just like to create a muscle memory, which is sometimes the pilots, they move the cyclic and they don't know what it is behind this. So this is a very good example that shows you where the movement of the cyclic or any other part that it shows you where we are going with this. The item, the supplement videos and modelings and part catalogs, we can, if it's we have some customers that they need, okay, I need to know what it is the part number of this, that you click on it and then the part number comes out and we can develop further to do that. You can order the part, that part directly, it goes to the system of order. Okay, this is our demo. Hey. So we have the rights on this song, so please enjoy it. I guess what they say, one picture says 1,000 words. This is the product that we have, and I guess I gave the idea about exactly what we do for a living and how we can get everybody up to speed, especially the maintainers, that they need this muscle memory to understand we have seen through the video how one part comes and screws, the nuts, the bolts, and everything in it. And we give the sequences of the assembly and disassembly according exactly step by step with the task and the manuals that is coming. It's not, and that has an effect on what it can be the maintenance, because we do it in we have two ways, the guided mode and the unguided mode. The guided mode, which you see as a student, you see how this start the whole process, the whole task, which whether it's OIM or whatever, or the military or whoever is give that task, and step by step the correlation of how we need to do it. And that is okay. There are 10 steps. Then you go with unguided mode, which we don't give you any help in that. So you have to do the task by yourself. You do the 10 steps, let's say, then you get the graduation or you get the grade that you need for that exam. So that is our VMT. If somebody have if there's any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. This is who we are. Mr. Duke Tucker, he's our Vice President, and I am Vittorio Zori. Thank you very much for your coming today, and a real pleasure meeting everybody.
He had all he needed was a model. How, where, everything. We just wanted to have it. We wanted to build it. Select a component, engine, or system. It was like just sitting there on that, theory of operation, part identification. You know, he's anything that we can. But if there's training that's going to go along with all this knowledge, and you can go to the helicopter. Partition that you need to remove we can do that for you. So that
yes, he is
convenience.
born in Iraq, lived in Iraq for 14 years, and then
It's like the restaurant.
and that's where he developed
what do you want?
Well, he's fluent in Arabic, Italian, Spanish. He speaks good French.
I see that you are looking at me and the smoke is start coming. Okay, well I can just think about what exactly you want. This is just like the whole pyramid I showed it. You will say this, I want the whole pyramid, that's how come. And I'm working on getting the 147. The 17 training. Do you have a second? So that is another problem that we are working on. Just like so I'm ready. Yes.
Sure. Very good to meet you. Thank you for coming. We appreciate your input. I look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you.
Take care.
We met at breakfast.
Hey,
I'll be your deck. You'll see.
yeah, the ninja.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I wanted to stop by for breakfast. I wanted to see you.
Hi, John. Are you guys the same?
Different. French. C'est the story, c'est l'histoire du petit déjeuner.
Right.
Then we sat at the same table and
Thank you very much. That's real pleasure.
that's how you recruit people to your presentation.
You ran away from
Tax time. So, because I was late for the taxi.
Yes.
See, these guys were the ones that... I am the excuse. You saw how fast I am the excuse because
I told him, I said, I have one rule, don't be late. And he said, you don't close. Watch it.
I literally got up and ran. I saw that. You didn't finish your coffee. Okay, we're going to stop by because I want to I'll stop by. Okay, this is my fault. Let's stop by the weekend. Thank you very much. Okay, see you
guys. You just like,
else to do with it. She's in the back.
We don't do any
Andrea, vado a lasciare giù i piattini.
Okay. This is the
Thank you very much.
Okay. Vice President.
Terrific.
Hi.
Hi, John Matthew.
John?
John, yes.
Duke Tucker. Very
Great to meet you.
Lucas. Lucas, very good to meet you.
Yes. And CFO. I met with them this morning. We had breakfast and we started talking. Get on the way because I couldn't capture it. But
Thank you.
here is a partnership that we can put together a great synergy for us. And he's going to explain it to you what exactly.
Actually, if I can take you 20 yards that way, I can show you.
Yeah.
Do you have 5 minutes?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yep.
So you want to tell you about it?
Thank you. Nice presentation. I hope that everybody liked it. You guys waiting on me or the?
Okay.
Okay. Hope you like the presentation.
1, 2, 1, 2. Check this.
I'm out of your way, so good luck. Andrea.
With the pen, with a little pen, yes. Let's test
1, 2, 1, 2.
see if
Already here.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be starting our next forum presentation very shortly. We have Jeff Maines, the CEO of ANPC. He's going to be telling you about the applications they've come up with to help in landings in some of the harshest and most difficult terrains in the world, whether Antarctica or the Himalayas or what have you. They have your solution. So please step forward. We have plenty of seating available here in the forum, and we'll get underway in just a few minutes. Thank you.
Stop by.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jeff Maines. I'm here to talk to you about the transponder landing system from ANPC in Hood River, Oregon. And we have a system that provides instrument landing system guidance, airport in a box that can work anywhere on the planet. Going right into, we are actually 3 systems in one. We are an instrument landing system, an SSR, and a precision approach radar all in one system. The system can actually be set up in 4 hours with 4 people. It works in any terrain environment, any kind of runway environment in the world. So if you think about the places that you landed with an instrument landing system today, those are the 3% of the airports. Airports like this airport, airports like Dubai International that have ILSs, long runways, open space. We're for the other 97%. The airports that the runway ends in water, airports where there's terrain challenges, airports where there's limited real estate, like you're on an island or you're in a mountainous range. So this system standardly is packaged in a 20-foot shipping container and basically comes out and immediately you can hook up power and the antennas and be operating within 4 hours with 4 personnel. And I'll show you, we have a system now developed for the U.S. Air Force that rolls out is in one pallet position in a C-130 and can be set up by 2 personnel in 2 hours. So how does this magic happen? Well, we're a very small footprint multilateration company. So we use time of arrival, angle of arrival, and differential time of arrival, and we have our own interrogation, and we actually measure the three-dimensional location of the aircraft 22 times per second with 8 channels, eight antennas at a time. We provide guidance to up to 4 aircraft at a time on ILS needles. The important thing about this is is a software-defined approach. So the system can be installed independently of where the approach is going to be driven. But this is a big contrast to normal nav aids, where with a normal nav aid, basically the approach drives the installation of the equipment. But when you install a TLS, you actually survey compared to the landing zone or the runway threshold, and then you basically, the system immediately sets up and you can have multiple approach profiles available to you immediately. We support Cat 1 ILS guidance and RMP type guidance, RMP.3 and RMP.1, to be able to develop approaches in more challenging environments. This is, as I say, a Category 1 system, and it doesn't require any change in the aircraft, and that's really the magic here. No changes in the aircraft, no upgrades to the avionics, no new avionics. It actually transmits the guidance to the normal ILS receiver in the aircraft. And you're able to then immediately upgrade an airfield to be an all-weather airfield. This is a great example. Here's an airfield in Antarctica where an ILS couldn't be installed because there's no space to put an ILS at the runway end. And also, the ground dropped off right away, so there's no place to form the proper glide slope beam. Also at this site, you can see that to be able to actually put the localizer in and get the proper localizer guidance, the localizer would have to be in the sea. And on the left, you can see a picture of Santos Dumont Airport and what a TLS would look like to install there in Brazil. And actually, there is no precision approach at this airfield because there's no space at the runway ends because they end in water to put a normal localizer. So there's not a localizer even aligned with the 3rd busiest airport in Brazil. Also, we only have 1 antenna for glide slope and 1 antenna per localizer. So we have fewer antennas, less failure modes, and it's completely impervious to multipath. The system has built-in flight check capability, so in a military sense, you can immediately be able to operate tactically as soon as the system's installed. In a civil sense, we've already calibrated the system and know it's going to pass flight check, so once the flight check aircraft shows up, it passes commissioning flight check the first day every time. We also, as I said, have an SSR built into the system, and we have usually a 2 Hertz update rate. For some special applications, you can do up to a 10 Hertz update rate, so you can track fast movers very accurately and also with high integrity. Since we're providing guidance, our surveillance has 7 zeros of integrity, and standardly a 2 Hertz update rate with a 100 nautical mile range. See here, there's no new moving parts in this system too, so maintenance is very low, power usage is very low, and you can see this display comes with the system is perfect. Shows you the 100 nautical miles, and any air traffic controller picks this up and knows what to do. Also, we have a PAR built into the system, so also you see the PAR screen here, and because we have a superior update rate to a standard precision approach radar, you get very good guidance for up to 4 aircraft at a time that doesn't have any lag with the aircraft, and also because we're transponding with the transponder works in heavy rain conditions where a standard PAR doesn't because it gets a rain shadow. This showing the packaging on a 20-foot Connex, our first customer. This is the first unit that got delivered to the UAE over here 4 years ago, and they actually sent a C-17 over, where we drove the system right onto the aircraft and they flew it over here for their first installation. And once again, it's set up within 4 hours. This is actually inside the C-17, and you can see all the electronics are mounted inside, and they don't have to be wired once they're in the field. Everything's ready to go. All you do is hook up the power and the antennas. And it has redundant electronics as well for a fast switchover. This is our new palletized system that we developed for the U.S. Air Force. It is one pallet position set up by 2 people in 2 hours. And it includes everything. That's one thing I need to mention kind of over and over. All the tools, the gen set, everything you need to install this system and operate it are included. It includes spares and redundant electronics. There's no sort of, oh, there's a little extra something you have to get. Everything in this case fits either inside the container or on the pallet. You can see this screen shows the primary and redundant electronics and also 4 screens for air traffic controllers to operate positions in. This is a fully FAA certified system to be able to provide guidance anywhere in the world, civil or military, and we have our own flight check order for this. We just actually installed our second system in Antarctica, and this is where the U.S. government, where they're using our system and our system alone to get into Antarctica. This is a new site that we're putting in the Himalayas, and we're using RNP .22 to design the approach, and we're going to provide 25 nautical miles of vertical glide slope and localizer, and then also a missed approach out 25 miles in another canyon. So it's really quite challenging site. We're just showing you some case studies of different places that we're providing this capability in the most challenging places on Earth. This is the deployable system I just showed. This is McMurdo, where we have 2 systems now installed in U.S. Antarctica. And this is a good example of an approach plate. This doesn't really require any training for a pilot either, because it flies just like an ILS. They tune it like an ILS, they use it like an ILS. This is our very good customer here in the United Arab Emirates. They now have 8 systems of ours, all that are redeployable. The Royal Saudi Air Force has systems. We're conducting site acceptance testing on the first one right now. Thank you so much.